Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Ambassador's Lounge. On the 3rd of July, Russia recognized the Taliban rule in Afghanistan. This has caused a lot of ripples all around the world because Taliban are being widely criticized for their human rights violation and their oppressive rule ever since they came into power in 2021 when the NATO and American forces abruptly left Afghanistan. Now, there has been a series of events which led to Russian recognition. Since 2018, Russians have remained engaged with the Taliban, and this year they invited Taliban for two conferences, which was also indicating that there was something going on where Russia was determined to have closer relations with the Taliban government. Now, since Russia has become the first country in the world to recognize the Taliban rule, there have been a lot of discussions and speculations as to what were the compelling reasons or imperatives for Russia which led to them to recognize Taliban despite the international community's reservations about Taliban rule in Afghanistan. Now, to discuss and also today we will be discussing the implications of this development, Russia's recognition of Taliban rule for Pakistan and the region as a whole. To discuss this issue, this topic, I have with me two experts, my colleagues, Ambassador Asif Durrani and Ambassador Amjad Sher. Welcome to Ambassador's Lounge. Well, gentlemen, my first question, or to initiate the discussion, would be the same as to what were the perceived benefits or compelling reasons for Russia to recognize Taliban?
I think Russia has been active as far as Afghanistan is concerned ever since American troops were in Afghanistan.
Yes.
After the 9/11, it supported the Americans and the NATO forces. But after the signing of Doha Accords, it was already known that Russia will be making moves towards recognizing the Taliban. They did it gradually. But we should not forget that the Moscow format began in 2017 when Ashraf Ghani was still there.
Yeah.
And the United States used to be the member of Moscow format. But after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Americans, they quit the Moscow format. In Moscow format, we have all neighbors of Afghanistan, Pakistan and India, and Turkey and UAE are invited as special guests, also Saudi Arabia. So Russia was giving due importance to the Taliban government. And one thing is very clear, that when Americans and NATO, as you said, they left Afghanistan, they did not leave abruptly. Reason is that they signed the Geneva Accords, Doha Accords.
Doha Accords, yes.
They shook hands and they left. So it was, you can say, well thought out strategy, and they left Afghanistan. But at the same time, they left Afghanistan for good. The reason is that Afghanistan cannot do normal business with the world. Their banks are officially not under sanctions, but the world banking system is not responding to the Afghan banks. So their poverty graph has increased. The trade they cannot do with the rest of the world because the banking systems are not working.
The assets are frozen, about $9 billion.
And $9 billion worth of their assets are frozen. So this was there. But I think for Russia, it is a different ballgame. Reason is that they are the net security provider to three Central Asian states which borders Afghanistan: Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. So it is Russia's concern as far as their national security is concerned that they don't want any unrest or instability inside Afghanistan, because they have already suffered during the past after their withdrawal, and then the civil war in Afghanistan, and then Taliban 1.0, and then during American presence in Afghanistan. So this is what it was in the offing. And then in April this year, President Putin removed Taliban from the terrorist list.
Yes.
And this had made, this opened the doors for recognizing the Taliban regime.
Their Supreme Court, they struck Taliban's name from the list. Yes, of course. And
These decisions by the Russian government, by President Putin to recognize Taliban regime has not come abruptly. As Ambassador Durrani mentioned about the Moscow format, which was launched in 2017. It was in fact a negotiations initiative in which there were 11 countries, including the United States of America, although United States of America did not formally attend such meeting. The first meeting was held in October 2018. But in my view, in fact, it was an incremental step. The recognition was an incremental step of the Moscow format. Slowly and gradually, when the Americans left in 2018 Afghanistan and handed over the power to the Taliban, which they call them Taliban, but the current government, they don't call themselves Taliban, they call it Afghan government. It means, in other words, it was in fact a recognition by even the American that the Taliban is a force to rule over Afghanistan. So that is the first thing which I want to clarify. The second thing is that in 2021, August 2021, the Taliban government came. It took them 4 years, and there was no country in the world had granted them recognition or established formal relations with them, except at the envoys level or Shade affairs level or diplomatic representative over there. And certain countries like Pakistan and Russia was one of the countries that they did not close their embassy in August 2021 when the Taliban took over.
Yes, absolutely.
It was the one of the countries that. So in fact, Russia was also engaged with the Taliban government, and gradually then the Ukraine crisis came over. Now Russia was also engaged in Ukraine. Then there was an incident, if you recall, in 2024.
March 2024, yes.
Moscow City Hall. Before there was also an attack in 2021 on the Russian embassy in Kabul, and this was all blamed on the ISIS Khorasan, and ISIS Khorasan is reportedly known as the being supported by the Western powers, especially they say that other forces. They do not want a stable Afghanistan and also want to create chaos in the region. So Russia found that Taliban are also facing the threat of the Khorasan, IS Khorasan, and also they are also facing. So they had also, they were on the same page how to fight against this force. And they also felt that if this spill over into the 3 Central Asian republics like Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan, then they are going to a security situation for Russia and its Central Asian republics.
Asif, it is being said that Russia's influence in the international affairs is waning, is diminishing with the passage of time. We have seen that during the Israel-US onslaught on Iran, there was very muted kind of reaction from the Russians, and also that Russians are embroiled in a war of attrition with Ukraine. It is also being said that a new regional great game is in the offing, whereby Russia has taken the first step to forestall any possibilities of Western influence coming back to Afghanistan, particularly that of United States. What are your views?
I think Russia has incurred losses, but Russia is still a great power. That status is very much there. Yes, after Ukraine, United States and the Western countries, they have boycotted Russia. But Russia has survived, I think. And Russia has friends elsewhere in the world, so Russia is not alone. And then more importantly, China is behind Russia.
Yes, of course.
That is there. And then in the neighborhood, Russia has got secured its position both politically as well as economically. It has economic relationship. And with Iran, when you say Iran, I think Russia and Iran have a concrete, quite stable relationship. They may not have, maybe saying in the public, but I think
but it didn't come to the rescue of
no,
Iran.
I think it was not a rescue war. It was Iran could fight for itself, and I don't think Iran needed that. What Iran needed was the technology, which it already has got and developed. So you don't expect that others will fight Iran's war. So I think it was a misplaced expectation of Russia, or for that matter, any other country. For instance, we fought with India on our own, right? So, but we got the weapons from China. So fine. So America, India is getting weapons from France, America, and other countries.
From everywhere.
So
of course. Yes.
So the question is how you applied those weapons, how you use those weapons. Yes.
How do you see this gambit, this first move by Russia towards Afghanistan's?
I think it is heading towards a regional approach, whereby the immediate neighbors of Afghanistan, I think, are likely to recognize Afghan.
We'll come to that.
Afghan
Yeah,
regime.
sure. Yeah.
So it is heading towards that. Yeah.
Okay. Amjad.
The United States of America has outrightly rejected the Russians' decision, this recognition by Russia.
Yes, we know that West is not happy, with that, of course.
It is legitimizing a terrorist regime.
Yes, exactly.
The US and Germany both are the largest aid donor to Russia, to Taliban, to the Afghanistan government. But at the same time, in my view, in fact, it is the repeat of the situation or scenario of the 70s and 80s. When Russia was totally engaged, wholeheartedly engaged in Afghanistan. And then militarily it invaded Afghanistan in December 1979. So I think again it is the repeat of that scenario, and now wants the United States of America so that to divert its attention from Ukraine and also from the Middle East, and also pay some kind of attention and even also pay some of its policies, towards Afghanistan, and that is going to create a kind of, confusing situation for the United States of America what to do. And Russia definitely is a larger, power in that region, Central Asia and beyond. And it has a complex history of relationship with Afghanistan right from 1970.
Well, Asif, the reasons that have been enunciated, put forward by Kremlin is in the context of recognition of Taliban is that there are lots of economic opportunities for cooperation between the two countries, particularly in mining and infrastructure development,
energy, transportation,
energy, etc., agriculture, and also security aspect of this relationship. Now, the interesting aspect is that China is also already involved in many mining projects inside Afghanistan, and economic incentives have been given by China to the Taliban government. Now, how do you see, are they, becoming rivals, in these two partners in Afghanistan, or how do you see this situation?
I said that there's going to be a regional approach whereby immediate neighbors of Afghanistan and Russia are likely to play. They are already playing an active role as far as Afghanistan is concerned. They are maintaining Afghanistan to the subsistence level by giving economic aid, by concessional wheat and energy from Russia. Also, China is giving aid to Afghanistan.
Yes.
And then Iran has also supplied oil on concessional rates. So this, and when you look at the Western side of the world, when they talk about human rights, I think they should stop having double speak. Reason is that Al-Shara was an ISIS leader, a terrorist.
Is now being
terrorist
quoted by
has now become a darling.
Yes, of course.
Right. So, do you think that America has a case to object to Taliban? They have not done those terrorist activities which the ISIS were doing. And then Russians were blaming Americans that you, in fact, sent ISIS
terrorists
personnel to Afghanistan in unmarked helicopters. In 2017, Russian Foreign Office openly said it, which was corroborated by former President Karzai after that statement. Of course, the United States denied that vehemently, but this Syria, what happened in Syria is, I think, gives rise credence to the suspicions which were entertained earlier. And it is also a miracle that ISIS never attacked Israeli interests, American interests anywhere in the world. So these are the questions which are being raised. And that's why I'm saying that a regional approach is coming up, whereby the neighbors, they have a peculiar circumstances as far as maintaining relationship are concerned. Someone sitting in Paris or Madrid has nothing to do with what is happening in Afghanistan. They are least affected with that. So I think we have to have a realization that when you are living in a neighborhood, your effort is that there should be peace, stability, and calm in the region.
Amjad?
China also had its concerns, especially security concerns in Afghanistan. That's why it has issued a supportive statement on the recognition of Russia, the Afghan regime. And China concern is the ETM, the Eastern Turkestan movement, and that also have got its presence in Afghanistan. There are so many terrorist groups in Afghanistan. But at the same time, Russia is currently now the supplier of three main items to Afghanistan. One is the oil, the other gas, and the third is wheat. So Afghanistan is largely dependent on the imports from Russia. And Russia also wants to see the infrastructure development in Afghanistan, and by also expanding its cooperations in other fields like mining and so many other areas. But at the same time, now the Iranians have not yet issued any statement on this recognition. Apparently, Iranians are not happy with the Afghan government on the basis of their muted response of the Iranians.
Actually, yes, absolutely. They remained quiet, when
exactly when
Israel was attacking them,
by the Israeli regime. So that is another issue. And it is largely believed that China would be the next to recognize Afghanistan regime. Correct.
Okay. Well, Asif, coming to Pakistan-Afghan relations, don't you think it's a paradoxical situation where we are critical of the Taliban for not doing anything to stop the terrorist attacks inside Pakistani territory? They are harboring TTP, and other terrorist organizations, BLA, etc., which are inimical to Pakistan's interests. But at the same time, I found it very interesting that our ambassador to United Nations, Asim Iftikhar, in UN General Assembly plenary, he advocated the case of recognizing the Taliban rule, saying that they are the de facto rulers of Afghanistan, and they are managing and ruling the largest chunk of Afghan territory. And he also advocated that of unfreezing the assets belonging to Taliban. How do you see this kind of paradoxical situation? I call it.
Some improvement has taken place between Pakistan and the Afghan interim government, and the visit of Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar also broke the ice.
Yes, he did visit. Yes, yeah.
That
April,
visit
yes.
was planned long ago, but it could materialize only in April. And then the trilateral meeting between Pakistan, China, and Afghanistan. Actually,
that set the tone
that
for it.
Also, pushed it further towards progress. And two important things happened in the trilateral meeting. One, Pakistan announced upgrading its diplomatic status from Charge d'Affaires to ambassador's level. And second, Afghanistan was invited to join CPEC, which the latter accepted. So it is going to be a win-win situation, because if CPEC extends to Afghanistan, it means it would be a connectivity with Russia and with Central Asia and beyond. So these are the, you can say, substantial developments which have taken place. And as I keep repeating that Pakistan needs a stable regional policy, whereby there is peace in the region. Once that happens, then we don't need allies far afield. And while we can maintain a best of the relationship with the entire world, but our immediate attention should be towards neighborhood.
Amjad, please go ahead.
Recently, you have seen that there was the first ever political consultation meeting between Pakistan and Afghanistan at the additional secretary level. That was a good development, and I think it was part of that trilateral, initiative which was launched by China, and the meeting was held.
It was the first ever meeting ever since Taliban have
come to power.
Yes,
yeah.
So I think that was a good development. And as you mentioned about the statement of our permanent representative in the UN, I think he mentioned 4 things. And the first thing was that let us engage with Afghan government, with Afghanistan, because engagement was very important. By isolating the Afghan government, we have so far achieved nothing. And then by freezing them, their assets, and then by also, and by not recognizing them, it has further alienated them. So Afghanistan should not become another hub of terrorist activities. If we engage with them, if we recognize them and talk to them, so all these issues for the Afghan government or for the people of Afghanistan, women's rights or women's human rights are not primarily so important as their food. Infrastructure development, social development and business activities. If these are achieved slowly and gradually, when they are engaged with the world, these things, the human rights and women's rights and all other things will also come in.
Well, Asif, what do you think are the possible regional shift in alliances, and regional power dynamics for Pakistan following Russia's recognition?
I think we should look towards this development positively.
Okay.
And we already, in fact, we initiated this trilateral mechanism between Pakistan, Afghanistan, and China. And we are also part of the group under Moscow format, in which Pakistan, Russia, and Iran are the members. Also, that includes the Afghans. So the consultations do take place. And I'm hopeful that we will also take a decision towards Afghanistan's recognition.
How soon do you think it will
that
take?
I can't say, but there are all the trappings are very much there. And then I think it would be...
All the vectors are pointing towards that direction.
Then,
Yes, okay.
you have said it. So this is something we should in fact be striving for, because Afghanistan is a reality.
Yes.
Even United States and the whole United Nations recognizes that Taliban have brought peace in the country. They are credited with eliminating poppy cultivation, which was the biggest worry. And I'm not saying it, UNODC has collaborated that. So it is important that we should look at our interests, and then of course we will be seeking certain guarantees from the Afghan interim government vis-a-vis roping in TTP
Exactly, I was coming to that. Yes,
especially I think the first step could be to disarm the TTP cadres.
Will they do it?
They can.
Once we recognize them, will they do it?
It is just not the recognition. We should not try to link with it. But I think we have to continue to persuade the Afghan interim government. And let's be fair to the Afghan Taliban also, that these TTP guys, there's a fear, and already there are some evidence available that these TTP cadres who have got disgruntled from the Afghan Taliban, they have joined the ISKP. So this is a formidable threat for the Afghan government. And then there are people who are anti-Taliban. They are sitting outside the borders, and they'll be striving. And then there are in some non-Pashtun areas, at times there are scattered incidents which do take place, although it is not so prominent in the media. So those threats are very much there.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, Amjad, it is being speculated that after Russia's recognition of the Taliban government, the increased engagement with the Taliban by the Russians could also encourage Russia to put their boots on the ground inside Afghanistan, repeating the history of 1979, to counter the threats like ISKP, and other threats that are inimical to Russian interests particularly. Do you think things will come to this point?
I don't think so. The current Afghan government, the Taliban, they have fought war for 40 years.
Yeah.
They are, very hard, in fighting. So they don't need any Russian soldiers. There were soldiers, the US NATO forces in Afghanistan. Did they succeed? So this is, I think, this is not something to think about it. The Afghan can tackle such threats themselves. But one thing from our side, as you mentioned, and Ambassador Durrani, is that in the internal affairs of Afghanistan, Pakistan should not play a kingmaker role.
Okay.
Pakistan should allow them,
of course,
to handle their own
issues. Yes,
they are mature enough, they are wise enough, and they are intelligent enough to see their problems and resolve them.
Okay, Asif, let's say if we recognize the Taliban, as Amjad mentioned in the beginning of this program, that Russia's recognition has invited a lot of criticism, that they are legitimizing a rule which is oppressive, which is grossly accused, being accused of human rights violations. West is likely to isolate further the Russians. Now, if we recognize the Taliban government, will we also be seen as legitimizing the Taliban rule and their interpretation of the Sharia and its implementation? And how shall we balance our relations, with Russia and the West?
I don't think the West has the cheeks to preach Taliban or Pakistan, or for that matter any other
what to do and
country,
what not to do.
What to do, what not to do. They cannot deny that they shook hands with the Taliban, and Taliban have come under an agreement with the United States, supported by NATO.
Okay.
So I don't think they have a case to oppose this. Otherwise, what forced them to leave the country? They were there for 2 decades. And then regarding education, up till Ashraf Ghani's time, while there was no restriction on girls' education, 2/3 of the girls were out of school because of the conservative nature of the society. I'm not pleading for any restrictions on the girls' education, all that. But the question is, you are talking about a dispensation which is ultra conservative.
Okay.
Americans are protecting the rights of the Amishis and Mormons in their own country. You want to preserve the rights of animists and others in Africa. You want to preserve the rights of Kafirs and Chitral and all that. They are the UNESCO's, and they all come and they say don't touch them even if they are illiterate and whatever there. You know. So here I think it is all, it's a politics. They want to be smart, but they are clever by half. Because the Taliban, perhaps, they are a developing country, but their minds are not underdeveloped. So they know how to deal with that. And I think on education side, I think it will take a while, but ultimately the interim government will have to allow girls' education. And there are signs that the girls have been allowed to be educated in Pakistan or in Indonesia and all that. So if that is the case, so I think the world, we have to take a broader view of Afghanistan. Main thing is peace and stability. For me, I need a peaceful and stable Afghanistan. I don't want, even if openly friendly, if it is stable, that is good for Pakistan. We should not try to baptize or patronize Afghanistan.
Or school them,
Same, I think Moscow has also thought these things, that they also, because Moscow has not put any restrictions on girls' education or Central Asian states. They have 100% literacy.
Yes, yeah.
China has not, but the question is they have to deal with the law and order, peace and security in the country, stability, because they are the neighbors. China has also raised the diplomatic level up to ambassador's level from Shadi affairs. So we have also done the same thing. And the main thing is we are in touch. We are on daily basis dealing with Afghanistan. Recognition is, yes, it would be a diplomatic boost to the Afghan interim government.
Yes.
And they will also realize that if there is a recognition, then they become more responsible. Right now, they can ask you that if we are not recognized, we are not liable to any of your demands.
But what will be the implications for Pakistan?
What implications? What the rest of the world or the rest of the neighborhood they have? What implications the world wants from us?
They would say that you are legitimizing an oppressive rule.
So we are legitimizing. So they have legitimized Al-Shara in Syria. On what basis? Yes?
Yeah. And elsewhere also. They have a history, of course, of supporting autocrats.
They have been supporting autocrats.
Absolutely.
Still supporting autocrats.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Good.
I would add to Ambassador Durrani's remarks that for Russia, recognizing the Afghan government was the converging of interest, and that was fighting against the IS Khorasan, because they both felt the threat. Even the Afghan government and also the
They have suffered also.
Yeah, suffered also.
We have suffered.
So if we have also the guarantees, security guarantees and assurances from the Afghan government that they would not allow BLA and TTP and other groups to fight against Pakistan, and they would neutralize them or disarm them, and either they will flush them into Pakistan territory and we will handle them. But the Afghan side will never be used against Pakistan, or there will be no more attacks. Then there should be no problem for us to recognize.
Yes.
Already there are reports that Afghan interim government has taken steps by arresting some of the TTP cadres.
Oh.
And also they have arrested Afghan nationals who joined the TTP.
Okay.
So these are positive signs. I think it will take a while. We have to be patient, but we have to persevere. This is not going to be resolved in a day or two or in few months. It will take a while. We have suffered because of Afghanistan for the past 45 years.
Okay.
It is not that after 9/11 the entire world changed and everyone was talking about terrorism.
Yeah.
We faced this terrorism ever since Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. We did not request the Soviets to come to Afghanistan. We did not request the 5 million Afghans to come to Pakistan.
Yeah.
These were the external factors which forced Pakistan to have a response. Yeah, good or bad.
Yes. Okay.
This was, you had to react to that. And then Americans were too happy to come while we were under sanctions.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
They removed the sanctions.
Yes. Yeah. For their own sake. Yes.
For their own sake.
Yes.
So then here comes 9/11.
Yeah.
And once Russia leaves, Soviets leave, sanctions are put again on Pakistan, only to be removed after 9/11. So this is something the politics we have to live with. And if there are, even if they put sanctions on Pakistan, I think that Pakistan is already under sanctions.
Yeah.
While we are a non-NATO ally,
Yeah.
but the very next day they issued travel advisories not to travel to Pakistan. What happened? The cost of doing business with Pakistan has increased.
Yes.
Insurance cost has increased.
Yes. Yeah.
Prospective buyers are not coming to Pakistan. They expect the seller to come to the destination of their choice.
A neutral destination.
So
yes.
therefore our exports have not increased. With Iran you can't do business. Iran is under sanction, but by implication we are under sanctions.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
So if we are living in such a condition, so we are under sanctions. So our national interests dictate that it is better we look within our own region. And our region has got much better chances to offer better economic conditions.
I was coming to that actually. I want to ask you gentlemen, probably the last two questions, which I have put them together. One is that we know that Taliban have a very cordial, close relations with India, and now Russia is courting them. Russia is shaking hands with them. Now Russia and India are also allies. Now, if we recognize the Taliban rule, how do you think Taliban would balance their relations, both with India and Pakistan?
Well, it is a question which the Taliban, we should ask the Taliban that how they are going to handle if they also have good relation and also with Pakistan.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is not the first time that India had enjoyed very warm and good relation, cordial relation with Afghanistan, even during the Zahir Shah period, the Dawood period, and in Ashraf Ghani time, and other rulers in Afghanistan. So India is a sovereign country, so is Afghanistan. So we should not be, jealous of this kind of thing. And the other thing is that with India, with Pakistan, if we have good relations with, and we have good relations historically. If you ask any Afghan...
Sorry, if I may stop you here, that during Ashraf Ghani's time, and Karzai's time, Indian presence in Afghanistan was very close to Pakistan. It was widespread, it was close to Pakistani borders, and they were involved in terrorist activities inside Pakistan. Now, how do you think that Taliban would be able to rein them in?
That is the reason that why we need to have good relations with Afghanistan, because we can impress upon the Afghan government that look, your soil is being used against us. And it's not only TTP or BLA, even the Indians. And now in the recent Israel-Iran, conflict, you have seen that there were certain Indians in Chabahar who had also been apprehended on charges of espionage. So these things, the Afghan should also now learn this and understand this.
What do you say?
I think India does not enjoy
confidence
because of the geographic reasons. India can only pump money. They can hire some hands, which they are doing. With the TTP, they are, paying money through Afghan proxies. With the PLA, they are blatant. So even PLA openly recognizes that, accepts that we are getting money from India. So India is blatant. So here it is between India and Pakistan that how we deal with that. And Afghanistan, ever since our independence, Afghanistan never gave the pleasure of supporting India's stance on Kashmir. They remain neutral throughout.
During the recent skirmish also, during the war also.
Throughout, 47 till date. I stand corrected. And during Zahir Shah, 65-71 war, I have said it earlier also elsewhere. 65 war, Zahir Shah called Ayub Khan to pull back your troops. I'll not stab you in the back. We did that. We pulled back our troops. In 71 war, he called in our ambassador and repeated the same assurance, which we did. What else do you want? What else we want?
But we are still suffering, I mean,
suffering because we were also involved in Afghanistan quagmire.
Yes, of course, we made mistakes.
So we made mistakes, so you cannot absolve yourself of those mistakes. We have to pay for that mistakes. And even now,
for how long?
Even now, on BLA and on TTP, actual solution lies within our own borders. You just can't thump the entire blame on Afghan governments, any of the governments. So first, I think we should put our house in order. Let's be fair to each other. Yes, yeah. Afghanistan may have contributed to that. Maybe reason because of the geography or whatever political reasoning you can offer. That is there. But this kind of the attitude, our people have done it. We have shot in our own feet.
No denying the fact. Well, gentlemen, last question. What are the perceived benefits for Pakistan? I mean, economic benefits, once we recognize, as and when we recognize the Taliban government, following Russia and other countries. Do you think that projects like TAPI, etc., would be materializing soon, and we will be reaping the benefits?
It's very simple. If there's peace and stability in Afghanistan, in the neighborhood, everything would fall in place. And you will have economic activity. All projects which have been paralyzed, which are in a limbo, would become functional. Like Uzbekistan, Pakistan, Afghanistan rail line. And Chinese are interested to fund the project. So it would be a big success. If you are linked with Uzbekistan, you are linked with the entire world actually through Russia.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for your considered opinion about this particular development. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the two experts about the recent development of Russia recognizing the Taliban rule and also the possibilities of Pakistan following suit. When we are going to take that step, it remains to be seen with the policy makers, but it appears that Pakistan would not be falling too far behind Russia and other countries if and when they do decide to recognize Taliban rule in Afghanistan. We have also discussed the geostrategic dynamics following Russian decision, and how the new alliances will be formed and what would be Pakistan's position in the region if and when we decide to recognize the Taliban rule. We'll appreciate receiving your comments and also subscribing to the channel. We'll be back with a new program very soon. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.